Hello. Oh my God. Let me know if you can hear me. I just immediately went live and then my camera and microphone completely died. I think we're fine. I think now everything is fine. And which, of course, is Sunday's cue to start eating breakfast. So we're back to normal, it sounds like. Frogs incoming. You know, now that it's like almost summer, I don't know if we will get any frogs tonight. It's still like beautiful and bright outside. So maybe later depending on how long we sprint, but they've been pretty relaxed. We also like that's my front door right there, and like maybe 1 yard out my front door is a swimming pool, and they just treated the swimming pool like a few days ago. So I don't know how many frogs are left, but we'll see. Hello. Okay, good. She's arrived loud and clear. Excellent. Oh my God, it's always something. I wonder if like Mercury is in retrograde or whatever planet is is having a meltdown right now. How is everyone? How is the week? Happy Hump Day. Uh, any reactions to the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlist that was announced today? Because I'm excited about it. I feel like it's best case scenario. I almost guessed correctly what I thought the shortlist would be. So that's like my big news of the day that I'm excited about is the Women's Prize shortlist. Poor froggy friends. Yep, I'm sure they're fine. They probably just scurried back into the wilderness, but I don't know how many are left in the pool. Hi Lisa, how's it going? What's cracking? Always the planets. I know. They're always up to something, causing all kinds of mischief. Rough long week sprints are much appreciated. Agreed. Hello, Eric. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. How are things? What's going on? I'm feeling like not that I don't actually do sprints, but I have so much reading to get done and I'm so behind on my TBR that I feel like we're going to be productive. So hold me to that. We have to make sure we actually sprint today. I still have to get through the long list. Okay, I had this grand plan, which I will tell you guys because we're friends. I had this grand plan that I was going to do this gigantic TBR reading vlog and read the whole long list, which we're still doing something similar, but it's not going to be all 16 of them because I don't know who I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, trying to like, yeah, no problem. I'll just squeeze in 16 books. But there's a few off the long list I have read so far, and I'm excited that the short list turned out to be what it is because those are like mostly the ones I was really excited to read anyways, like Great Circle and Island of Missing Trees or something, and a lot of the ones that are on that short list were like my most anticipated anyway. Planet Shenanigans. Her food bowl is like, hi, we're talking about you. Oh, she'll be back. Her food bowl is like right there. You could still see my mess from filming my haul last weekend also. Haven't put it away. But as soon as I start like recording a video or talking on stream or anything, and it's like one of her weird anxious quirks. And I don't know why, but either she's just a diva and likes an audience, or it like soothes her to like eat or drink during that kind of a thing. There she is. So she always starts to eat as soon as I like start recording anything. I think this was about the Women's Prize, but yes, it was a fun idea, but in execution, so much reading, especially because so many books on the long list were like over 500 pages. That it was just really a bit off, a little bit more than I could chew on that one. Hello, Eric. Sunday heart eyes. This is how I feel 24 hours a day, always. Just so much joy. She is too cute. The star of the show, truly. We don't know for sure. So she's a rescue, and we got her when she was about a year old or so. And we think that she's Australian Shepherd, Queensland Heeler, like red heeler mix, just because of her coloring and her size and everything. But It's really a mystery. I keep thinking it would be fun to do one of those like doggy DNA tests to get some kind of like actual idea, but I don't know how reliable those really are or anything. But yeah, some kind of herding dog mix. I hear her messing around in there. Her bed is right here. Sunday, come here. Say hello to your fans. Oh yes. She's so like being a herding dog and like being some kind of Aussie mix, she's very like likes affection on her own terms and is really like a one or two person dog. Like really me and Wesley are like the only people that she allows to like tell her what to do or get close to her really, and she's only super affectionate like first thing in the morning or right before we go to bed, and then she turns into a cuddle monster, and she's the most shameless cuddle mooch that you've ever seen in her life. Otherwise she acts pretty coy and chill the rest of the the rest of the day. Red healer pit mix. Oh my god, I did one of those tests and it was interesting. I have some friends that have done them and it's given them very like interesting results, which I think would be fun just to have an answer to the what kind of mix is she question. But also I don't know, it could tell me all kinds of crazy things about what kind of mix she actually is. But who knows? Not that there would be a right or wrong answer, you know. Red healer pit mix. I'm sure she's a cutie pie. My mutt rescue is on the couch with me right now. Oh, rescues are the best. I used to work at not work. I volunteered once a week at a local herding dog like shepherd rescue, and that's why her name is Sunday, because I volunteered every Sunday, and I was working there in the pen in like the run one day where they like brought her in. She came in with one other dog. Yep. And it was like all of the cliches ever, where as soon as they like brought her into the run, I was like, oh, that's my dog. Like I just knew. And it was like so silly because still now I've had her for 3.5 years now. And I am like her person where sometimes she won't even listen to Wes, but she will always listen to me. She's like my shadow. And even that very first day when they brought her in to the rescue, she was so scared, so anxious. Now she's like medicated for her doggy anxiety, but even back then she had all this like who knows what kind of trauma. Anyways, not even the owner of the rescue could get within 10 feet of her, let alone like put a leash on her or anything. That little doggy comes running right up to me and sits right down and starts wagging her butt and lets me put a leash on her, and the owner of the the owner of the rescue was like, oh yeah, you're right, that one's yours. So very cute. You know, who rescued who and all of that nonsense. But yeah, she's the baby. I bet you were Kick-Ass Wine Cellar, saw your Insta story, and you are so amazing, and don't let people get you down. We are the Pump Up Squad for Noel. Thanks, Eric. I posted on my close friend story. I had like a kind of a rough work day. I work at a winery, if for those of you that don't know, but this comment makes me really happy, and I'm like really excited to be on sprints and hanging out, kind of getting my spirits up a little bit. But you know, there's good days and there's bad days, and I don't know. It's hard in like the hospitality industry because you have to just be on all day, and so sometimes at the end of a day, like working like with customers and like being so smiley and blah blah blah, I'll get in my car at the end of the day and realize like, wow, I'm exhausted and haven't really like paid attention to my own like needs all day, you know. So it was kind of one of those like long exhausting days, but now we're chilling. Is Sunday secretly a cat? We say this all the time. We joke about how she is a cat in a dog's body, especially because she's a herding dog, and like we thought for sure when we got an Aussie that she would need to be constantly exercised, that she would be so high maintenance, that we would be walking her like 3 times a day, going on hikes all the time, which is fine because we're pretty active people. But she is literally the laziest, chillest young Aussie that you've ever seen in your life. She, exactly like a cat, will follow like the patch of sunshine coming in on the window. She will follow a little patch of sunshine across the house. And it's insane. She is actually a cat. Hello. Mine is also a rescue. We got her when she was 2. Poor thing has some trauma. Oh yeah, gotta love those rescue quirks. One of Sunday's quirks that's really more of a battle scar, I guess, is her tail. I probably told you guys this before, but her tail is docked. You could see she has no tail. But whoever docked it did a real hack job. You can kind of see it's like crooked. So the way that it healed, whenever they did it, however they did it, is like crooked at an angle. So when she tries to wag her little stub, it goes straight up and down. And we call her the Twerk Master. That's canonically her middle name is Twerk Master. So, mountains out of or lemonade out of lemons is what I was gonna say. Not mountains out of molehills. I'm mixing up my idioms. Uno is a rescue cat too. We got him because he was the laziest. That's like a smart way. It's just to match to the lifestyle that you want your pet to live. We've been thinking about getting a cat because we live in the country, and I saw a mouse in my house the other day, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I hate setting mouse traps. I have this phobia of lizards. I'm fine with mice. I'm fine with spiders, but like lizards, harmless little country lizards, like blue belly lizards, I hate them. They make me like break out in hives. I start shaking. I can't handle it. And cats, I know would kill the lizards and the mice. So I've been debating on getting a cat and having it be our little mouse trap, lizard trap. But that's like kind of a silly reason, I guess, to get a cat. It would also be, affectionate, and Sunday loves cats and other dogs. Like, I think she just needs a little friend. So maybe we may be getting another little furry friend. I foster kittens, so I may be, in fact, their trauma. That was always my fear when I worked at the rescue, because we would also like train them and like pack walk them and like give them like basic like training and basic like commands and teach them how to live with other dogs and other animals, because a lot of them, since it was like a breed specific rescue, they would come in from all over the state from like other humane societies and like random pounds and all of that stuff to this one like central breed specific rescue. And there were certain dogs that you could tell were just so traumatized or so like such a handful that there were times where I was like, wow, am I the drama? Like, am I going to be the reason that this dog has an attitude problem? Because trying to correct or course correct some of those like really difficult cases was a time. But the nice thing about a rescue like that, like where I worked, was obviously it's just like once the dog is there until it gets adopted. So we would have dogs there for months and months and months and months. I think the longest while I was there, we had a dog for like 8 or 9 months. And when he came in, he was a little piece of shit. Like that was like a bad dog. And I remember thinking like the owner and I being like, oh my God, how are we gonna fix this one? And we pack walked him and we socialized him, and we, you had to like be the alpha with him or whatever. And he turned into such a good boy, and he's living his best life. This is like probably 4 years ago now. He was adopted by this like rancher cowboy with just acres and acres of literal cows and land for him to run around and use his instincts as a herding dog. It's like, those were the best moments. I cried. I cried when he was adopted. So that was a long story. His name was Kip. I can't believe I remember that after 4 years, but those are the ones that stick with you, I guess. Uno is literally scared of bugs, so he doesn't do anything. Oh my God, he's just living rent free, living his best life. When I was growing up, I had like my cat in my parents' house. Like that cat did not like any other human being, any other living thing except for me. She just chose me for whatever reason. And that cat was so overweight. That cat was like 3 times the size that she should have been. And I remember once That cat, we were like in my childhood bedroom, and that cat was in the middle of the floor, and a mouse like ran out of my closet and across the room, like running for her life, looking at the cat in the middle of the room. And I'm looking at the cat like, hello? And my cat just like a little giant bread loaf on the floor just watched the mouse run all the way across the room. So, oh my God, that cat's still alive. She's like 18 years old. So I guess, you know, whatever her strategy was worked for her. She's still kicking. That isn't a silly reason. That's a totally legit reason to adopt a cat. Okay. Thank you for validating me. I do want a cat. It's, there's this really awesome local rescue that does like cats and dogs, and they post like all of their like incoming animals, and they post like their little personalities and little cute videos of all of the animals that they have, and every single one I like send it to Wes, and I'm like, what about this one? What about this one? Meanwhile, he does the same thing to me because he wants us to get another dog, which I'm not opposed to. It's just hard to rent anywhere with more than one dog. So it like would like limit us a lot, you know? But it's probably safe to say that we will have at least one more furry friend in the near future, because it's getting to a point where both of us are like so excited about every animal that this Humane Society posts. It's a little bit out of hand. We rescued our cat as well. She and our dog have an interesting sibling relationship. Aww. My parents have their two ancient cats. One is 18 and one is like maybe 15 or 16. And their puppy, who's not a puppy anymore, she's like 2.5. But when they got the puppy, both of the cats were like, are you joking? Like, we're supposed to be living our glory golden days in peace and comfort. And here comes this puppy. That puppy does not give them any peace. But also the cats really tell her who's boss. They still have some spunk at their ripe old ages, that's for sure. The puppy has learned after 2 years not to mess with the old lady cats. I'm thinking, I don't even think I told you guys what I'm reading. I have an ebook of Sorrow and Bliss out from the library on my Kindle, which I just found out today, talking of the Women's Prize shortlist, made it onto the shortlist, which is really cool. I'm about, 30% into it right now. And it's definitely the genre of like no plot, just sad girl, which I don't know. I think I like that genre, whatever that genre is. Like literary, I don't know, contemporary literary, but there's definitely, I feel, a subgenre of sad girl hour, sad girl literary. So that's what I'm reading. But please also let me know what everyone else is reading, and then we will kick things off. I'm thinking 30-minute sprints, you know, really trying to make a dent in our TBRs today. Hi, Sahar. Oh my God, I haven't talked to you in forever either. Thank you for being here. Trying to finish Because Internet for one last Linguathon book. Oh my God, that one's on my list. Not for like this Linguathon, but just generally my list of linguistics-y books. Let me know what you think of it. Dreamland by Sarah Dessen. I'm rereading her entire bibliography this year. Isn't that like a ton of books? I feel like she has a very long list, but good for you. Like, whatever makes you happy, you know? I know, I miss you too. What's new? What are you reading? Oh, not reading tonight, just packing to go home for the weekend. Oh my gosh, that's the best feeling. Oh yeah, I saw your Insta story. Yeah, you're like in between things now, I think. Because Internet, it's really fascinating. I really like the audio. Nice. That's what we like to hear. Okay, Sarah Dessen has 13. I own them all, love her. Okay, I guess that's less than what I was thinking. So that's 13 books is like, yeah, that's totally manageable. That sounds like a really fun project. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen, a little timer. All right, we will go for 30 minutes. And we're back. Let me turn this banner off here. Okay, how's everything? My book is the same. No plot, just sadness. So far, what it's been the entire time. Where did we leave off? I'm reading Tokyo Ueno Station by Yumiri, also for Linguathon. Amazing. I still have to enter all of my points. So thank you for reminding me. I'm about to go do that. I've been like an absentee host. I feel kind of guilty about it. I have to go enter all of those. I could finally go see the fam for more than 2 days because PTO is nothing anymore. Oh my god. That is cause for celebration. Fun weekend. Hi everyone, just hopped on. My first time catching a sprint live. Welcome. Happy to have you. And Sid's here. Hello. Welcome, my buddy, my pal. My book is about an abusive teen relationship, so all sunshine and rainbows here. Yes. Agreed. Sorrow and Bliss is the name of the book I'm reading, so it's not like I expected sunshine and rainbows, but it still is like main character is very depressed, and it's just like stream of consciousness of the last like 4 decades of her life living in her own brain. But it is very like, it's very like literary. I could see why it was put in the short list, you know? It makes sense. It checks out. It's like the same, like sometimes when you watch a movie and you know like, oh yeah, this is going to be like an Oscar nominee, it's the same feeling. Also, I've just completely lost my train of thought. Wes brought me a Diet Pepsi, which is my favorite thing on this entire green earth. Really about to cheer myself up with this little treat. I've been thinking, I keep looking at the stack of books I haven't put away. I've been thinking, oh, well, I have like so many books off of my shelf. I should just do a whole bookshelf reorganization now, which would require me to take off the rest of all of my books. So like logically, I know maybe don't do that. Just put away the books, you silly goose. But also the other half of my brain is like, but the content and fresh new bookshelves. So that's the dilemma, which is why they're still sitting there, because I just can't make that decision. And also I keep telling myself like, oh, I'll just like wake up early and like listen to my podcast while I drink my coffee in the morning, and then haven't done that either. So we've just been stepping over piles of books for the last few days, but I guess it comes with the territory. What is, sorry, I know the glare from my glasses is a thing. Are bookshelf tours fun, or is that just fun for me to like do and have new bookshelves in my life? Or is that like actually videos that you enjoy watching? I'm like for science, asking for science. Okay, bookshelf tour, yes. Bookshelf tour or bookshelf organization or both? Are they the same? I don't think I've never done a video like that. So I think I tried to film it once and like the sun was going down, so I just said screw it and I scrapped the whole thing because I just wanted to finish it. So yeah, it would be a thing. Or maybe I would do a reorganization and then give you a tour afterwards. I'm overthinking it probably, but what else is new? That sounds fun. Okay, there's potential. I get a lot of new TBR books from both kinds of videos. Okay, that's how I feel too. It's like, maybe that's why I like watching like the booktube staples so much, because it's like TBRs, wrap-ups, bookshelf tours, and book hauls. I feel like those are the bread and butter of the like booktube content. And I watch those because it's like I discover books I wouldn't like otherwise see or be drawn to, or hearing people explain books that otherwise I would never have bothered to like look into myself is really fun and interesting. Or especially in like wrap-ups when people are talking about books that like I never would have bothered to care about. I feel like bookshelf tours are similar because it's like, oh, this is my this is my sci-fi section, and I'll every single time I'm like, oh my god, I've seen that everywhere, didn't know it was sci-fi. I'm really going off the rails here. Just the other day I watched someone's video and they explained what the Atlas 6 is actually about by Olivia something Blake. And I realized, as much as I've seen that book, no one has ever explained it to me before. Hence why I like watching wrap-ups. Yes, definitely, for sure, tour, reorg, all of it. Okay, maybe. I never leave one of your videos without adding something to my TBR. Thank you, and also I'm sorry. There's definitely booktubers that I watch too where I feel the same. It's like I know I'm about to be like taking notes going into certain videos, but that's always fun too. Same. Oh man. Your worst of 2021 video was my first ever booktube video. It started my addiction. You are known as Superior Noel in my household. I feel like I should just end this live show right now because that just like made my evening. Thank you for Superior Noel. That's gonna go straight to my head. But yeah, that's one of my favorite videos I've ever made, which I guess was like, everyone loves the drama, like the unpopular opinions and best and worst of the year videos are always a blast, but like specifically on my channel, that worst of 2021 video might be up there. It's definitely top 5. Em is here. Hello, my also mutual queen. How are you? What are you reading? How are things? Superior Noel could be a merch line. Okay, this is funny and not funny because jokingly, I just talked about this in maybe like a video from a couple weeks ago. It was the accomplished woman book tag that I did, where I was like talking about all my mannerisms and how my friends and like my partner are always talking about like my mannerisms and etc. And I think it would be really funny eventually to have merch related to all of my weird catchphrases or things that I do. And sometimes Wes and I will talk about, or he'll say like, oh, like that's a merch item, or like, oh, what if this catchphrase was on a t-shirt, or like weird things like that. So don't you worry, as soon as I can justify silly goofy merch, there will be silly goofy merch. Just because I think the one that I want is a beanie like this, but with a cowboy emoji, and that's the only thing on the beanie. Anatomy, a love story, but also am dealing with intense arthritis symptoms, so we will see how far I get with the physical book. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, it's never easy, is it? Is that the one that has the anatomical heart on the cover, or am I thinking of something else? It's like a heart, but also a dress. I've never heard what that was actually about. I just know that I like that cover. A shirt with me as Shrek. Okay. Literally, yes. Like a few months ago, Christine from the Roommates Digest sent me a Shrek t-shirt unsolicited, just because she's like, I was shopping and found this t-shirt and couldn't not buy it. I've never laughed so hard than opening up a random package and it just being a Shrek t-shirt. So there would definitely be Shrek in the hypothetical merch line also. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. Okay, cool. If it's good, let me know, because it's pretty. I would buy it just because the cover is pretty. And if the book is also good, then like that's a no-brainer. I would buy the fuck out of that beanie. I would also buy the fuck out of that beanie. Like just a beanie with cowboy emoji. I would wear that daily. I love the Shrek content and the Funky Town content. I played Funky Town in my pole class last week. I think it was my Tuesday class like last week. I just was like tried to play it off like, oh, I've just been on like a disco kick. I played Funky Town, and all of the students in that class were like, what is going on with you? I just really had a Funky Town kind of day, and it was a vibe. And it's fine. I'm allowed to do that as the teacher. I was like, no, you will be working out to Funky Town today. Yeah, that was a fun day. I was definitely in a silly, goofy mood. I need to change my YouTube icon from this weird stock image, and now I'm freaking out about it. Weird stock image? I don't think it's that weird. I know exactly who you are. It checks out. Oh, I thought this blanket was Sunday, like creeping up on me again. She is a little sneaky monster. I don't even know where she is. She must be on the bed again. That cozy girl. Disappointing in your students did not pass the vibe check of Funky Town. I know. Okay, they don't know me like that. I just explained to like a friend and coworker of mine the other day because she like just discovered my entire like book internet life, you know? And she's like, "Oh, I'm watching your new video." And I had to warn her. I'm like, "Okay, just so you know, this is the silliest and also probably the most accurate and most authentic personality, where I just get to be full nerd and full dork 100% of the time, where we listen to Shrek soundtrack and talk about weird books." And she was like, "Cool, I can get on board." And so my students definitely do not know me like that, but maybe eventually. A couple of them do. A couple of them were like, "Oh, have you read this? You should read this. I think you'd really like this." And unsurprisingly, those are my favorite students. Yes, the bookworm. Oh, I see. Okay, it's like so little. I just see like the pink glitter, and I'm like, oh, that's M. I need it to be my pic that I have on Insta. Yeah, you gotta have that brand consistency, you know? I'm a teacher as well, and I incorporate way more Doctor Who than is strictly necessary. See, that is your prerogative. Yes, you have earned the right to incorporate your fandoms and your interests in whatever it is. Like I mean, even on like my Bookstagram, I will post about Queen Herbie because I'm obsessed with her and everything that she does. And frequently, like at least once a week, I'll make my students listen to just like Queen Herbie in the warm up or like strength conditioning. And I'm like, no, listen, you will be educated in the ways of our Lord and Savior, Queen Herbie. So, I mean, they know what they sign up for in my class. There are certain songs that my partner plays for me or sings to me to be silly, and Funky Town and I like to move it are constants. Okay, if I bring in I like to move it to the rotation, don't be surprised. This is all thanks to you, because that is a classic. That might have to make the rounds. Da baby. There she is. I know. She's the real star of the show. Sunday 7 pages. It's just like, yeah? Ooh. She's being a real ham today. Usually she likes to keep it a little bit closer to her chest. The silliest and the goodest. My playlist consists of hot Broadway men singing ballads. Sounds good to me. That is probably an excellent playlist. The smile, I know. She has this awesome side tongue smile, and it's like, that's just the happiest, goodest girl in her happy place. Are you guys down to sprint again? I know we like just sprinted, but we're trying to put a dent in those April TBRs, you know? I feel like that's what I'm feeling. Also, Wes just got home with Thai food. So selfishly, I'm about to tuck into some fried rice. I have a crab of sack sticking his tongue out and it's perfection. Yes. Pets with their tongues out, nothing better. Maximum serotonin. Our car automatically plays whoever had their phone connected to the car last, and we will often play songs for each other as one of us is pulling out of the driveway. And it's I like to move it, move it. That is, I love that. It's really those little things that make you giggle, and that's a crack up. I didn't read the last sprint, so probably need another one. Okay, nice. Nice, nice. Happy sprinting and get that Thai food. Thank you. Yes, I will. I will. Yes to sprinting again. Okay, cool. We will add our timer back and get on it. All right. Hello, we are back. How was everything? I didn't even eat my fried rice. I was unpacking my workday to Wes since he just got home. My dad's car plays his audiobook, and sometimes I don't expect what he's reading. I cannot even. I can't imagine. I mean, my car automatically starts playing my audiobook, but it's always like, for some reason, the audiobook volume and then like music volume is so different, and I don't know why. So whenever my audiobook comes on, it's like blasting the audiobook, and that always really wakes me up in the morning. That is pretty funny. One of the, oh my gosh, I just forgot until this moment, but when I rolled up to work, one of the interns who works in like the wine cellar, like making the wine, he came up to me, he's like, hey, so the cellar master, who's like a friend of mine, so she said that you knew there's like an app where you could get like audiobooks for free. And I was like, oh my God, you sweet, sweet, sweet summer child. Yes, download this app. Do you have a library card? Okay, yes. Okay, good, good. Put your library card into this app. You're welcome. Happy first day of the rest of your life. He was so cute. He's like, oh my God, thank you so much. It was precious. Hi, I read 122. You speed demon. I love that for you. I'm halfway through Dreamland, but it's only 250 pages. Oh, I love a short book. I really thought that Sorrow and Bliss would be going faster, but I think I'm like reading it kind of slowly because it's very, like I said before, it's very like stream of consciousness, and bounces around, and you're not really sure what's a flashback and like what's present, and sometimes there's quotation marks and sometimes there's not quotation marks, so I'm having to go very slowly and make sure that I'm absorbing. You know how fast I read. I hate it and I love it. A blessing and a curse for sure. You just like consume so many books. I get it. Audiobooks, I am that way. I read audiobooks blindingly fast, but physical books and ebooks take me longer because I get so easily distracted. Whereas audiobooks, regardless of me getting distracted, they just keep going. I have no control of it. Sorrow and Bliss was on my TBR, but now maybe not. Okay, I really like it. Like it's not like it's meandering in a bad way. It's just taking a little bit more of my brain power than some other things, if that makes sense. Jumping on the sad book wagon, I am reading Bitter Remains, a nonfiction true crime book about the murder of a mother. Dang. Oh my gosh. One of my friends is so into true crime, and she listens to like every murder podcast under the sun. And that is so not my genre, not my area. Even though I love like nonfiction, I love podcasts. Oh, I can't do true crime. I've tried. Someone says true crime and I'm there. Thank you for the TBR. There are two kinds of people. I just get really, really paranoid. Even with like the TV shows, like Law and Order and all of that, I can't do it. I can read. That's probably why I like fantasy and sci-fi, is because I know it's made up, no matter how like scary or creepy it is. Even if it's like fantasy horror, sci-fi horror, no problem. But like contemporary horror, can't do it. True crime, can't do it. So that's a weird thing. Amanda Montell should write true crime. You're right. That's probably the one condition that would get me to read true crime. Criminal Minds was my comfort show during lockdown. Like I get it, because a friend of mine is like the exact same. It's like, it is like a comfort, and she explains because it's so it's so outlandish, even though it's true, that it gives her comfort knowing that she has this like illusion or sense of safety, I guess. But that's, oh man, that is not how my brain works. I can't do it. I can't, it like, I get so scared everywhere I go. This is my first one and it's heavy. Oh man, it sounds heavy. Hello, how's it going? What are you reading? How is life? If you want a wacky case, look up the Stephanie Lazarus case and thank me later. I will do a little bit of Googling. The area that I'm from is famous for the Kristen Smart case. The podcast is, what's it called? Your Own Backyard. It's like this huge, super famous podcast about this crazy like kidnapping murder case about Kristen Smart. And that was at the university that's like in my town. So every time I hear about Kristen Smart, which like comes up a lot in true crime, where I'm like, oh, that was my own backyard, and it's wild to think about it. I am reading Conversations with Friends. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to read Sally Rooney this year. I haven't actually read Sally Rooney before, but I don't know. I'm nervous because I think I will either love her or hate her. And I'm scared that if I hate her, I won't want to read another of her books. But I know that all of them are like similar but different, of course. And I think it has all of the ingredients of things that I would like. I'm just worried about the execution and also my own hype that I've created of her. Hello, the only true crime I can do is true crime from like the 1800s. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Like completely different era, centuries have passed. Yeah, there's a little bit of separation there. I would probably agree. Getting ready for the show coming out soon. That's so true. I have to read it before the show because I'm definitely going to watch the show. Speaking of shows, Wes and I just finished Our Flag Means Death last week, and I'm still thinking about it. I also have yet to watch Heartstopper a single time, and because I know I only get to watch it for the first time one time. And also, I haven't actually read the graphic novels of Heartstopper, and I'm debating, like, do I want to wait and read them and watch it, or do I just want to watch it? Again, overthinking. But if you have read or watched Heartstopper, please let me know from the Peanut Gallery. Anything more recent than 1800s true crime is too close, even if it's not near me at all. Yes, that's how I feel too. I've been researching Stardew characters all afternoon for a special something. Okay, you posted about Stardew the other day for a special something something, and I've literally had the itch to play Stardew Valley since then. Literally for these sprints, I was like, well, I could listen to my audiobook and play Stardew. And then I was like, no, I have to read Sorrow and Bliss. But I might do a little comfort Stardew after sprints. It's sounding really good. I just need a little bit of time on the farm, you know? Yeah, exactly. Stardew has claimed hundreds of hours of my life and I'm not mad about it. Exactly. Maybe I'll just like start a freshie, just a brand new farm. No, I don't need to do that. Maybe I will. I don't know. It sounds really fun right now. I need to watch that. Heartstopper or Our Flag Means Death. Our Flag Means Death. Yes. It's so good. I want to rewatch it. It's exactly as good as everyone says it is. And I need there to be 12 more seasons. I'm obsessed. Read the graphic novels now and then watch the show. Read them first. Okay. I'll read it. Should become a vlog, but I don't know if I have it in me. But I'll read them first. I just have to hold off on the FOMO about the show because it looks amazing, and I've seen people being really, really excited about it. So I definitely do want to read them. It just hasn't made it to the top of the list for whatever silly reason. I read Heartstopper. It's very cute, and I need to watch it ASAP. Okay. Yes, I need to read it. I need to read it. I should just binge them in like one day. Is that possible? How long are they? I don't even know. New farm. A specific audiobook farm. That would be actually really fun. I've thought about doing that with like painting, because like do a certain painting only while I listen to an audiobook and see how it turns out, of the vibes and all of that. But I haven't thought about it in terms of video games, but that could be really fun too. Don't worry about making a vlog about Heartstopper. Just take it all in and enjoy it. You know, this is like the permission slip that I needed, honestly. There is that weird side of creating content around one of your hobbies where you feel like it's weird to do that hobby without creating the content from it, and that can spiral a little bit, you know. So maybe I will just like give myself permission to just read them and then watch the show and enjoy it. Name the Stardew character after your fave audiobook narrator. You know what's funny is like I couldn't tell you a single audiobook narrator by name, but I know their voices. Like I'm listening to the audiobook for Opal and Nev right now, and it's done by a full cast, which is amazing, and it's wonderful. But the narrator for one of these like really old men in Opal and Nev is the same narrator as Strange the Dreamer, which the protagonist in Strange the Dreamer is like 20 compared to like this 80-year-old man. And it's just weird to try and get past that, knowing that like it's clearly the same person. But I know I need to get better about like appreciating and recognizing like the big names of audiobook people, but I have no idea. Couldn't tell you a single one. I think you could do all of Heartstopper in one day. It would be like me to attempt it, and it would also be like me to not finish it. Which would be fine. You know, what's the rush? Not a race. But that would be satisfying to like just check it off and then binge the whole show the next day. That would be fun. I just saw his vlog. I haven't watched it yet, but I did see that he made a fun video about that. So I guess it is possible. The proof is there. Yes, they are super bingeable. Okay, cool. Totally bingeable. Bingeable. So bingeable. Okay. I'm convinced. Addictive. I just need something like fluffy and fun and gay, you know, and I know that's what Heartstopper is going to give me, which is kind of the hangover that I got from Our Flag Means Death. So this is like the perfect time. Jack Edwards binged them in one day, so it is possible, yes. Julia Whalen does some of Opal and Nev, but what else has Julia Whalen done? This is what I mean. I couldn't tell you off of name, but voice I could tell you. My favorite audiobook narrator, unalived. That is so sad. That is so sad. My favorite audiobook narrator. What's the last thing that they did? I couldn't tell you like order-wise what they did, but the narrator for The Kingdom of Back, who I think has done multiple of Marie Lu's audiobooks, she's probably up there with favorite audiobook narrators. But again, now I feel like I should search it. Narrator, Kingdom of Back. Lauren Ezzo. apparently. So I guess I need to be reading more of Lauren Ezzo's audiobooks. All of Taylor Jenkins Reid and Emily Henry. Okay. The only Taylor Jenkins Reid I read on audiobook was Daisy Jones. And I haven't done any Emily Henry on audiobook. I try not to do romance on audio because I know that smut on audio really doesn't work for me. It feels like people are yelling and I don't like it. I just don't like smut on audio. So romance audio is like a no-no for me. But I've heard that Evelyn Hugo on audio is amazing, but I read that physically. And I haven't read Malibu Rising. I haven't read any of the OG Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I guess it makes sense that Julia Whalen did like Taylor Jenkins Reid because Opal and Nev is very similar in genre and style to Daisy Jones and the Six. But like low key, maybe better. Opal and Nev, like people are sleeping on Opal and Nev, and you heard it here first, folks. That book is so good, and I'm actually amazed. Like that was one of my predictions for the shortlist for the Women's Prize that I was so confident about, and that was one of the two that I didn't predict for the shortlist or predict correctly, I guess, because it didn't make the shortlist, and I'm like shocked about it. But whatever, I guess. It's hard to create a shortlist from 16 down to 6. That's like such a big cut. I've read Taylor Jenkins Reid's entire backlist, Avoid Forever Interrupted, and I recommend all the others, especially One True Loves and Malibu Rising. Interesting. Like, I know I've heard the most mixed reviews about Malibu Rising, so knowing that you've read the entire backlist is like good to know because I've debated like even bothering or not. The only two I've read is Daisy Jones and Evelyn Hugo. And I love the like beachy, is it 70s or 80s vibes in Malibu Rising. But I also know, I think it takes place over one day with flashbacks. And I just read a book in that same style over one day with flashbacks, and I hated it. And now it makes me nervous for picking up anything else in that style. I didn't think that I didn't like that style, and now I'm thinking maybe it was the way it was written that didn't work for me because I kept getting annoyed with all the flashbacks, and it felt like the book was twice as long as it needed to be because I knew it was only like one day, but we had all this extra stuff with flashbacks. I don't know. That style might just not be my thing, is what I think I've realized. My favorite from her is Maybe in Another Life. See, I don't even know where to begin with like the older ones. But maybe I will start like collecting them or trying to find them used or something. What do we think? Shall we do one more sprint and call it a day? Are we down? Let me reset my timer over here. I'm thinking one more sprint and then we'll be at about the 2.5 hour mark. Pretty chill, easy weekday sprints, you know? Plus I need to make another small dent in Sorrow and Bliss because the library hold is slowly ticking down, and I want to make sure I finish it before it gets returned. I have to turn in because my fingers are cramping, but I love you. All right. Hope you get some relief, my friend. Take it easy. We'll see you on the internet. And for everyone else, we will do one more sprint. Hello. We are back. Why is it so red? We have smart lights in our house, and sometimes they're very colorful. Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine's here. Hello, Catherine. And Andy is here. Hello. Sorry I'm late. What's everyone reading? I think that's going to be our last sprint. But I have been reading Sorrow and Bliss on my Kindle from the library. It is just depressed girl, no plot, just sad girl vibes, but in a very literary, interesting way. It's hard to explain, but nothing's really happening. But I'm enjoying the book. Frogs are here. You're right. I wasn't sure if we were gonna get. They just stopped. I wasn't sure if we were gonna get frogs tonight, but there's a few of them out there. I think we just made them shy. they just stopped. They'll be back though. How was everyone else's reading before we call it a night? Next Wednesday is already the first Wednesday of the month, which means it's time for Hot Girl Book Club next Wednesday with a Jan for Cleopatra and Frankenstein. So it may be next Wednesday. It may be the Wednesday after. I still have to talk to Jan, and finish the book and everything. But what else is new? So if you're reading Cleopatra and Frankenstein with us, keep that on your calendar. And then next Tuesday is the live show for our Found in Translation book club for this month, which was the poetry collection. What was it called? The Iraqi Nights poetry collection. Reading The Dragon Republic. Oh my gosh, I have to read that. It's on my list. Very high on my very long list. Andy is reading An African in Greenland for Linguathon, a memoir about someone not from your country. That's awesome. And you just reminded me again. I mentioned earlier I have to enter all of my points still. So that's what I'm going to do immediately after getting off sprints. I can't believe it's like already the end of the month. It really flew by, but I'm glad that we did it again. It's a lot of fun having 3 of us, and also like wrapping it up with the book club was really fun too. Well, unless anyone has any further thoughts, concerns, comments, or poetry, I think we're gonna call it. I know I kind of kept it short today. I'm so bummed I missed out on the live reading sprints. They will be more the 3rd Wednesday of May. Unless that's the 25th, and then it won't be the 25th. But I will do more reading sprints in May at some point. So keep your eyeballs peeled. Otherwise, thank you everyone who joined and did some sprints with me, and I will see you very soon on the internet.